Recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This amendment simply requires that the harbor maintenance funding provided in this appropriation bill complies with the recently enacted WRDA law, and that the 10% funding requirement for the Great Lakes will be met. The Water Resource Reform and Development Act of 2014, which this body passed by a 412-4 vote, includes an allocation for the Great Lakes Navigational System of 10% of harbor maintenance funding provided above the financial 2012 baseline. But this bill is more than, this amendment is more than about that. This is a bill that really dwells on the Great Lakes, and what a great gift from God this nation was given with the Great Lakes. Now, 1/5 of the world's fresh water, not 1/5 of Pennsylvania's fresh water, not certainly 1/5 of America's fresh water, but 1/5 of the world's fresh water is in our Great Lakes. There's also a commerce element there. Now, where does that fit in, and why do we talk about that? Here's why. We're talking about jobs. We're talking about jobs in our Great Lakes. We're talking about 128,000 American jobs. Over $33.6 billion in annual revenue. And it's 3% of our nation's gross domestic product. Now, this common sense amendment just directs the Army Corps of Engineers to use the allocated funds as directed. Now, we talk about the Great Lakes, we talk about it an awful lot, and I think that sometimes we forget how great this gift is and what our responsibility is. Sure, it's a gift from God, but you know, it's up to men to maintain it. And this great body, looking at this opportunity that we have right now to actually direct funding that makes sure that we can still navigate through our Great Lakes, that we can dredge our harbors, that we can do breakwater maintenance, that we can do jetties, all those things that are necessary to keep that line open. The Great Lakes are truly our door to the world. It is our responsibility, and it falls on our shoulders right now to support that. Now, I appreciate the chairman and the ranking member's willingness to consider this amendment and their support for our Great Lakes. I'd also like to thank Representative Candace Miller for her great work on the WRDA bill on behalf of our Great Lakes. And I urge my colleagues to support this amendment and keep open our Great Lakes door to the world. I thank you, and I yield back.
Ohio.
I would thank the chairman for yielding and commend Representative Kelly for offering this important effort and highlighting the importance of the Great Lakes. I feel that you may be the last speaker this evening. I don't know, but we would say last but not least, especially for those of us lakes. And we love the attention because we most often don't get it. And we had conversations today about oceans and about other parts of the country, and it's just so great to have someone with your commitment to the Great Lakes. We know it's the largest body of fresh water on the face of the earth, and that commerce moving through the seaways, the shortest distance between the United States, Europe, and ports even on the western side of Africa, if you look at the way that the globe actually works. And so to have this kind of work by yourself, by the chairman of our subcommittee, Mr. Simpson, by Candace Miller, by Congressman Visclosky, and so many others that work on Great Lakes issues, it's wonderful to have this team put together and to see that we've done a better job for our Great Lakes in this bill than in past bills. And by the way, I might say that the lake on which the communities I represent are situated, Lake Erie, is the most drawn upon of the lakes and the most fragile. And therefore, and we share her with Canada, so it even gets a little more complex as we move forward. But I just wanted to commend the gentleman. I thank the chairman for giving me the time, and I know the people who are listening from the Great Lakes region greatly appreciate the attention and what we do in this bill to make sure that those lakes are maintained. Thank you.